These faces, they're new. This is great. And Judy Ann, that was a perfect song for this.
Yeah, wonderful.
So, how many of you have read the book? A number of you? Okay. I'm going to highlight what I thought was important. You may think that there's more that needs to be said, or you have other ideas of what needs to be said. And what I suggest is you see Judy Ann, and she's going to schedule you for a talk up here. And yeah, give your, we're open for all the opinions here. I was introduced to this book 20 years ago. Jack Roverlin, Unity of Boulder, introduced it to us. I was mesmerized by the whole thing, the whole concept. And I got the book, bought the book. And so I started thinking, I think we need to have a talk about this book here at Unity of Grand Valley. So last week, first of all, I thought the book made it to Grand Junction, but I haven't been able to find it since I've moved here. And I told Judy Ann, I'm going to talk on it. Well, I can't find the book. So went on Thrift Books and ordered it and found it, an audio book in the library. So if you want to listen to it, the library has it. So I get the book, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I was in Las Vegas last week with friends, and I brought it with me, like I'm going to read it, Best laid plans. Yeah. I took it to the pool with me, and the friends came, and we all talked and had a good time. So it's time to go home. I can't find the book. Cannot find it anywhere. I told my friends, they're all looking, they don't have it. I went to Lost and Found at the hotel, they don't have it. My friend said, go home, unpack everything, you'll find the book. I went home, I unpacked everything, I did not find the book. I'm going, oh my God. Went to the library, well, somebody has it out, it's the only one copy, it won't be back for weeks. So I said, let's bite the bullet. We go to Barnes & Noble, we buy a copy, we expedite it, blah, blah, blah. I've got 1 week to do this. And I go to the passenger side of my car to get my things. As I went to Barnes & Noble, I saw this road atlas, this huge book, because we're old, the women I went with, we like to look at maps the old-fashioned way. So I picked that book up, and this was under. I mean, does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense at all that this book would be there, but it was. Okay, and I also like to preface my talks with, this talk is really for me. I need to hear what I'm going to say. So if you get something out of it, good. But it's really about me. It's all about me. Okay, and in the past I've talked, and I've mentioned, the talks were on celebration. And I mentioned 2 resolutions I would like you all to consider. Do you remember what they are?
Lose weight.
No. Okay. The one resolution I ask you all to think about is love yourself. Please love yourself. Second resolution is try to eliminate fear in your life. Do not let fear be your guiding light. Okay? So anyway, this is the crystal. This crystal represents love and love and gratitude. And okay, so the next crystal. So then I will go into this is a book by Dr. Masaru Emoto. He is a doctor of alternative medicine in Japan. And this crystal I just wanted to show. This is angel in Japanese. This is Satan in Japanese. So there are the differences, you see. And then these 3, he showed that this is you fool in Japanese, this is you fool in English, and this is you make me sick, I will kill you. So, gross differences from this and love and gratitude on the cover. He was curious about water. He says, water is our universe. Everything is made up of water. Our bodies are 70% water. So what we put out into the universe affects the water and affects us because we're 70% water. While he put out his book, when he first put it out, he had a reader respond to him. And the reader said, water is not just another substance, It is the life force of majestic nature. It made me once again realize the mysterious ability of water to cleanse and give life to all living. I can see that the soul, feelings, and vibrations have an effect on the formation of ice crystals. And through this, I can feel the importance of the soul and words. This information is extremely wonderful and uniquely impressive. So, Dr. Emoto goes on and he says also there's water, but also you have vibration. And vibration is existence. And he was curious about the vibration on water molecules. So he was doing his basic work, trying to figure out how he can get different results with the water. And he thought he's going to freeze it. At first, he had the tap water from Japan, but because of all the chemicals in it, he wasn't getting anything. And then he tried with bottled water, filtered water. Finally, he found a stream that came off of Mount Fuji. He felt that had to be the most pure water there is. And there was a video that John was gracious to give me, and I got to see all this, where he has a team of people working with him. They had hundreds of petri dishes with different words on it: affirmation, love, and gratitude. And you fool, you're stupid. And they would put drops of this water from Mount Fuji into this walk-in freezer, then later bring it out and put it under the microscope. And this is what they had with the different results. Can you show the next slide? So I'm curious. Let me try this, So, this is not scientific. Please understand that. I took 2 dishes. I wrote in verse on the bottom, love and hate. I didn't put equal amounts of water in there, but I put them in my freezer. I gave a lot of love to the loved one, and I totally ignored hate. Next slide. Okay. So I don't know if you see that, to me, like I say, it's not scientific, but to me, I just see that the crystals from love. And I went into the freezer a lot and told the love dish how much I loved it. And the hate one I just ignored. And to me, there is a little discrepancy. It seems a little more chaotic with that. So that was my experiment that I did. So I think Dr. Emoto's really onto something. Another thing I wanted to, Dr. Emoto also stresses with this experiment that he's doing with water and crystals. Everything in the world is linked. Whatever you are doing now is being done by someone else at the same time. So what type of morphic field should we be interested in creating? Are we creating fields of pain and viciousness, or are we creating a world filled with love and gratitude? Whenever you sit in front of water and send out messages of love and gratitude, somewhere in the world, someone is being filled with love and gratitude. You don't need to go anywhere. The water right in front of you is linked to all the water in the world. The water you're looking at will resonate with water everywhere, and your message of love will reach the souls of all the people in the world. We can cover the world in love and gratitude. This will become a glorious morphic field that will change the world. It's not about time and space, now, here, but wonderful and marvelous things are possible. And it reminded me, I was in San Francisco with a friend. He needed to spread ashes of his friend. And we're out in the boat in the San Francisco Bay. And the guy that had the boat, where we were putting the ashes in the bay, he explained to us, these ashes will cover the world because all the water is connected. And so these ashes will go from the San Francisco Bay out to the Pacific Ocean, then to the Antarctic Ocean, to the Indian Ocean, eventually to the Atlantic Ocean. So it'll cover everything. So anything you do to water is going to affect the world. Okay. Now, while Dr. Emoto is studying all of this, he said he came upon a great person that he called Master Shi Oya. And Dr. Shioya talked about how power of affirmation, the infinite power of the universe, will be concentrated and bring true peace to the world because there's such a power in affirmation. So this master, yeah, experimented. He brought hundreds of people to the lake Biwa. It's the largest lake in Japan. And they circled the lake and they chanted love love and gratitude affirmations to this lake. There's an old saying in Japan that when the water of Lake Biwa is clean, the water of all of Japan will be clean. And Dr. Emoto was surprised. He said a month later, after this chant, there was a report that the putrid algae that appeared every year that caused such an unbearable stench did not appear that year. So that is the power. Also, Dr. Emoto talked about a woman who read his book, and she went and did an experiment with her son. He said that they cooked rice. They put the rice in one jar with positive affirmation, love, gratitude. They took another jar, filled it with rice, and put the negative words in the jar. And the third jar, they totally ignored. They just put it on a shelf and ignored it. And a week later, they go back to check the jars, and the jar with the positive affirmation still rice. It's still fresh. It's still edible. It's fine. The jar with the negative statements, it's starting to decay, starting to turn black, and it's not good for. It's not edible in any way. But the third jar that they ignored was totally disintegrated. And he said what he learned from that was ignoring something is far worse than saying something negative when you ignore something. So that brought to mind my dad had a sister born with Down syndrome in the 20s. And his mother kept her there on the farm, and she helped raise her. And finally, in her late teens, the mother was unable to care for her anymore, so they took her to an institution. And it wasn't until the 60s when this aunt that I had passed away, and they were astonished because they said, no, Down syndrome children die right away. It's like, yes, because you put them in these institutions and you don't pay attention to them. You totally ignore them. And through this ignoring of a human being, yes, they die. They thought that was a symptom of Down syndrome. They just die early. No, they don't die early. If you see now, we have people with Down syndrome living prosperous lives. They're doing very well. It's how much attention you're going to pay to something. During World War II, the end of the 30s, early 40s, communities were disappearing. People were being abused, and people ignored that. They ignored what was going on in the communities. And then we have the result of, the Holocaust. So ignoring something is far worse than saying something negative. Another thing that Dr. Emoto emphasized was that gratitude carries a higher frequency and vibration than love does. He said love can become a self-centered, egotistical, and self-serving, where gratitude is a pure act of shining crystals of light, suggesting a more profound state of being than love itself. Expressing gratitude is the most powerful way to positively affect water, he said. And this brought to mind, with my experience, we were studying the Course in Miracles in the beginning of the 20th century, way back when, 25 years ago, at Boulder Unity. And we came across the one statement, God doesn't forgive you because God has never judged you. And people were, shocked by this. And the one woman said, well, if that's the case, God's esoteric, then I don't have to say thank you to God because God would never understand. God doesn't get that. God's not human. And I'm a strong believer that you don't put human characteristics to the concept of God. God is so far beyond any human characteristics, but I do believe that God wants to hear thank you. I really think it's good for us to show gratitude to God. Okay. Now the last slide. You'll love this. Now for some science. E equals mc squared, and energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. We all remember this, Einstein's big thing. But this scientist, Professor Dr. Hoang Van Duc from Vietnam, he said the C can be interpreted as consciousness instead of the speed of light. So M represents mass, and we can interpret it as the number of people consciously focused, and the the light that we can put out into the world with the mass of people, like they did with the light. So it's just another way to look at science, because we get all confused. This doesn't make sense, but think of it. And my main thing is, this is science, people. We like to think hocus pocus. Just have faith. Just have faith. God loves you. No, this is science. It's proven that with positive affirmation, we have the wonderful water crystals with negative, not so much, and totally ignoring something, even worse. This is proof, scientific proof. So it's no longer something that, I believe. No, we have science on our side with this. Now, I talk about the two, the next slide. According to Matthew 23:37-40 in the New Testament, Jesus stated that all law and prophecy hang on the two commandments. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart and soul and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself. Do you love yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How can we love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves? People, I beg you, really, you have to love yourself. You just have to. You're not serving anyone by not loving yourself. I had an experience about a month or so ago. I went to an event, and I needed to organize this event. And I get there, and I realize I don't have my phone. And no, because I leave it on the charger so much. And the first thing I thought, you idiot, how could you? Well, then as I'm going around the car and getting things out of the car, I realized the phone is face up, so it's black. And the mat on my floor is black, so I couldn't see it, but it was there. I'm so busy condemning myself. And the phone was there. I didn't need the condemnation. And what is that doing? Affecting the crystals of water in my body when I condemn myself. We need to give ourselves praise. People, talk to yourself the way you talk to your grandchildren. Would you ever mock your grandchildren or say things negative to your grandchildren? Or how you talk to your pets. We have to love ourselves. And I'm begging you, please, if nothing else, learn to love yourself. And the other part of my resolution about fear, please know, the Course in Miracles says, when we have fear, it's the absence of God. So when you feel that you're in fear, please know that God is with you always. Okay, so I want to end with a little meditation. Let's close our eyes. I know you have rituals of morning and night, but let's think of this one. In the morning, say, thank you, toes. Thank you for everything you do, my body, and thank you, feet, for being there for me to walk and go where I want to go, and the ankles that hold the feet together and the legs together, and the legs and knees and hips and thighs. Thank you. Thank you so much for walking me and taking care of me the way you need to, and helping me enjoy this wonderful world. And my colon helps digest the food, and the stomach. You did all that while I was asleep. You did a great job, because sometimes I don't eat the best food. But you're doing such a great job digesting the food and turning it into nutrients that I really need. And lungs, the whole time I was asleep, you're working. You're working supplying my body of oxygen, which I desperately need for this wonderful life. And heart, thank you so much, heart, for pumping the blood and being there and expressing love constantly, all while I'm sleeping. And shoulders, you burden everything, but you're so strong. And arms and elbows, wrists, hands, fingers. These hands and arms can hug and express joy and love. I want to thank you so much for doing that for me. And neck, you hold up this beautiful head. Jaw, you do such a great job with talking and eating, and ears, you hear what needs to be said. You hear the joy of this world, the beautiful bird songs. And nose, you're breathing in oxygen for what your body needs to stay focused and stay healthy. And it also smells the wonderful flowers that are coming out. Eyes, you see everything. You see all the beauty this planet has to give. And brain, the power source that it works in divine order, telling every cell of your body what to do to make this life great. Thank you. We'll have a beautiful day. And so it is. And so it is.